My name is Peter Galadze. I'm a Ukrainian Catholic priest. I teach Byzantine liturgy at St. Paul University in Ottawa, where we have the Sheptytsky Institute of Eastern Christian Studies. And I'm here in Ukraine at the Ukrainian Catholic University now because I have been, I've been blessed to be able to travel here now and help at the Ukrainian Catholic University from the days before the university even existed, when the church had just come out of the underground in 1990. I had the honor of teaching and have been teaching here off and on ever since. About Mirna, I suppose I should share something that I told her personally a couple of hours ago, and that is that it is such an amazing thing to be in the presence of, as it were, a walking miracle. I was gratified that she found that kind of comical. You know, she has a very good sense of humor and is a very down-to-earth person. And as I say, she let out a big laugh when she heard that I referred to her as a walking miracle. I think that for us today, in an age when we so frequently, especially in more educated circles, tend to identify Christianity with a multitude of abstractions, various ideas, notions, various kinds of theologies in a very abstract sense. It's so important for us to get in touch with the tangible, to be in touch with the touch of God, the corporality, the physicality of God's presence in this world, which is really the genius of Christianity. It's at the heart of the gospel. And Mirna represents this so directly. It, for people raised in a very kind of Enlightenment approach to religion, it seems almost shocking, certainly on the bizarre side. And yet, when you think of it, what is more Christian than the reality of a message becoming flesh, becoming something that you can see? God working in this very, very tangible, sensual way in order to make His presence known. And the man who is filming me right now, Gabriel, told me, actually he translated this for me because she was speaking in Arabic at that point. That's why it seems as if it almost came from him. But it was actually Mirna who said through Gabriel that every once in a while she'll run into somebody who says, well, we don't need any of this kind of, extraordinary stuff. We've got the Bible and that's it. And she said, you must understand that all of this is intended to precisely lead you to the Bible, to make the Bible come alive, so that it's not a dead letter, because the Bible is precisely about one outstanding act of God after another. It's about these kinds of tangible, physical realities that convince us of God's love for us, of His presence, and of His communication to us. The fact that the Word has become flesh, and the Word continues to speak directly in this world through those things that God has provided for us, and certainly for those people whom God has provided for us.
And what about the messenger?
The what?
The messenger.
The messages?
The messenger.
Oh, the messenger. Oh, she. Mirna. If you will allow me to be colloquial,
sure.
My wife and I find Mirna to be a blast. Now, that will seem extremely bizarre because it's very interesting that initially for the first couple of hours when you see her, maybe it was just that she was tired today, but I could understand that with what she has experienced, there would be a kind of austerity, a kind of somberness, which came through. And then later on in the evening, as she kind of relaxed, it was just astounding how she was sharing one very, very down-to-earth story after the one funny anecdote after another, just speaking in the most direct and pleasant way. So it's and I said to somebody that it will probably take me a couple of days, if not weeks, to process this. In other words, I'm going to wake up in a couple of days and say, this is so amazing that I was able to stand like this. I mean, when I first started talking to her, I was literally, 8 inches away from her. And to be able to be that close to someone who has experienced these kinds of miracles is just, it's, I mean, as I say, it just kind of, rolls you over. And so I consider that a great blessing, because, as Myrna herself in her great modesty would say, I mean, all of this makes the gospel
come alive.
Very, very much alive.
And the messages.
And the messages, believe it or not, here I am, an Eastern Catholic who, would seem to be quite au courant, would seem to know what's going on in the Eastern Catholic world. Ironically, I had to come to Lviv, Ukraine, to find out about someone that I should have known about in Canada. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I had to leave her presentation right after the film, so I only have a very general sense of the messages. What I get from communication with some other people who were there for the entire meeting, and then from talking a little bit to Myrna, is that certainly, everything that I've heard about the message is dead on. It's right on. In other words, it's the message of reconciliation, calling Christians who are divided to a unity, so that we can be the witness that God wants us to be in the world, so that indeed the world may believe.